Well, hello again. Welcome to our reading Euripides, and we're reading through the prologue of Euripides' play The Hekuba, and we got up to, I think, about line 35, and so we'll finish off the prologue in this reading. So, pantes de Achaioi nausecontes hezukoi, Thasus epactais tes dithrekias ktonos. So all the Achaeans, now ekontes here is probably for echo for cat echo, which we get a couple of lines later. It's to keep back. So all the Achaeans keeping back the ships, and then hezukoi, which is agreeing with Achaioi. It means at rest, I think, here, quietly. So the Achaeans being quiet, keeping back their ships. Thasusi, they sit, ep actis, on the shores of the land of Thrace. Hopelios garpais hupertumbu phanes, cateske Achilles pan stratiuma Hellenikon. Prosoikon eu thonontas en alian platen. We get an explanatory gar here for the son of Peleus. This, of course, is Achilles. Phanis, having appeared over the tomb, and here he is named here. So Achilles, the son of Peleus, having appeared over the tomb, holds back, cat echo, the pan stratium Hellenikon, the whole Greek force, the whole Greek army. And in opposition to this, we have to supply, out of stratium Hellenikon, we have to supply something like stratiotas to be the subject of the participle. So to hold back the Greeks, who are euthonontes, who are directing or guiding prosoikon home, their enalion platein. Now plate is actually the blade of an oar, so this is the shippy oar blade, or perhaps the sea-dipped oars, and this is sun ekdoki, it's called, for ship. So often they would use a part for whole construction. So the blade of the oar is part of the ship, and so they use this metaphor here. You could just translate it the sea-dipped oars. Now, by the way, in this Achilles is appearing here. Euripides doesn't say exactly where this tomb is. He mentions this tomb, but doesn't say where it is. In Homer, he's buried at Sigeum on the Trojan side. Here it appears to be on the Thracian side, so it may again be a slight variation on Euripides' part of the Homeric tradition. Atai dadelphane tain emain Polyxenain tumboi philon prosphagma kai geras labain. And he asks for my sister Polyxena as a philon prosphagma, so as a welcome sacrifice for his tomb. So to take her as a welcome sacrifice for his tomb, and as a geras, and as a prize. Why Polyxena? Well, that's a question which is asked in this play but never answered. In one ancient tradition, Achilles caught sight of, at some stage, Polyxena when he was alive, fell in love with her, and so now that he's dead, he wants her to be sacrificed to him. But that particular myth doesn't actually occur in this play. Kai tuxatai tude. Now this tuxatai is the future from tungkano, so it's irregular. So tungkano tuxatai, to meet with, and it takes a genitive. And so he will meet with this. And the this must be referring to the prosphagma, to the sacrifice. So he's going to get what he wants. Ude adoretos philon estai pros andron, nor will he be without a gift from his well, philos can mean dear, can also mean one's own. So from his own men, could translate this here, literally from dear men, but from his own men. He pepromene dage thanain adelphain toidi emain en hemati. This is a perfect passive participle here, but from a verb that doesn't actually occur except in this form, in this perfect form. And it's being used here adjectively, so we have to supply moira, the word for fate, I think here. So the appointed fate, moira, understood, leads my sister Danain to die, toidi en amati, on this day. So on this very day, we might say in English. Duoin depaidoin duo necro catopsatai meter, homu tetes te dustenu chores. Now, good practice with our duals here. We get duoin paidoin. This is a dual genitive. So my mother, catopsatai, from kathorao is the verb, this is the future. My mother will see two corpses, this is a dual here, from necros, so two corpses of her two children. And we get a nice, example of here where we've got two words in different cases, the same word but in different cases. It's a juxtaposition of the same word, or its cognate in different cases. It's got a technical name. This is called polyptoton, and there are lots of examples of that in Euripides and in particular in this play. So my mother will see two corpses of her two children, and then what are they? Well, they're going to be mine, my corpse, and that of my unfortunate sister. My corpse and that of her unfortunate daughter, I should say, for Corée. So my mother will see both my corpse and that of her own unfortunate daughter. Phanesamai gar hos tafu tlemon tuko. So explanatory gar here for, we'll take this bit here, hos for hina, in order that, wretched me, that I might meet with a taphos, a tomb. This is connected with thapto, to bury, and by Grassmann's law we get this form taphos as a noun. So in order that I might, wretched me, might meet with a tomb, because he's not been properly buried, so he hasn't gone through all the appropriate burial rituals yet. And he needs to do that in order to rest, to be able to go down to Hades properly. And so he says, for I will appear so that poor me might meet with a tomb, and I will meet doules podon paroithen en cludonioi. In front of the feet of a slave girl in Cludonia. This is a diminutive word from the word for a wave, one of the words for wave, a Cludonion, a little wave, because he's going to be washed up on the shore. The actual physical body is going to be washed up on the shore later in the play and found by this slave girl, who will then go and bring the body to his mother. But when he says, I will appear, well, he will appear physically, but in the meantime, he's going to, he's entered into the dreams of his mother to let her know that something's wrong. For
ex I te samen, I have asked tous kato sthenontas, those being strong below, i.e. Persephone and Hades, kureisai, from kurio, to meet with, takes a genitive, a tomb, kai, a cas for kai s, Pesane we've seen before from Pipto, and to fall into the hands of my mother. Tumon men un hoson per aethelon tukain estai. The interestingly, back in line 50 here, to meet with a tomb and fall into the hands of his mother, but in reverse order, of course. So a strange order that's been mentioned here. Now this bit here is tumon is to emon. And you get this expression quite commonly in poetry. It's in regard to me or for my part. So, and goes with the estai here. It will be my part. Then we get a menun showing a change of subject. Tukain, to meet with. Hoson pair, just what aethelon I wanted, imperfect from Thello. So it will be my task to meet with then exactly what I was wanting. But kerosomai, I will ekpedon, I will depart out of the way for the old lady Hekuba, ancient Hekuba, for she, so it's pera garhed aposkenas poda agamemnonos, phantasma de minus emon. For, now this is from Pera, it literally means to cross, but here to advance, I think. And the poda is an internal accusative in respect of her foot. So for she advances in respect of her foot, so she is coming near. Hupa, from the tent of Agamemnon. Fearing, literally fearing emon phantasma. Well, we'd probably take this, it's accusative here, but in English you take it as a my. So fearing my phantasma, my apparition, my appearance, because he's appeared to her in a dream. And so she's woken up from this nightmare and she's coming out from the tent. So fearing this dream or this appearance of me, few, alas, O mother, you who ek tyrannikon domon, after, or instead of perhaps your royal houses, you see the douleon amar, the day of slavery. So after living in royal houses, you now see the day when you're a slave, the day of slavery. Hos, prases, kakos, hoson per you pot. We get hos and hoson here. So just as, or rather perhaps hos perhaps here is sort of thus, or you fare badly just as much as hoson per, once understand you fared well. So you're now having just as bad a time as a good time that you used to have. So thus you fare, or how you fare, how badly you fare, just as once you fared well. Antis sekosas desefthero theontis tes paroith eupraxias.
Antiseikoo is the verb here, which literally is to weigh or balance up, perhaps almost compensate here. So one of the gods compensating, it destroys you. It's sort of balancing up your previous eupraxia, good fortune. So evening up the balance of your previous good fortune, someone of the gods destroys you. And that is the end of the prologos, and at this stage Hekuba comes on the stage, somewhat disturbed by the dream that she has had. And I recommend the play to you to read. It's a very fantastic play, one of Euripides' very good plays. One was very popular in antiquity. After his death it was revived and redone, and it continued to be quite popular during the Byzantine period.